Alright, hey, sorry about that, everybody. I had no idea what just happened with the audio and video there, so just checking on a couple more things here. Alrighty, so I think I am back at it. Alrighty, so where I ended off is I was going to start getting these broccoli here that I have transplanted into these biodegradable pots. So I have my dirt already mixed up. Remember, we want dirt when we're transplanting it to when we're putting in these pots to stay together and not loosely fall apart. We're gonna go ahead and just do that. Get it in our pots here, and then I try to work a couple of these, get a couple of these filled up before I start moving these plants into here. And we'll start with 3 of them right now. So try to just, when you're putting it in, try to get it up to the top, and then I just pat it down with my hand. And then what we're gonna do with our plants in here, what I do is I just use my hand like the claw. I just go in there and I just grab a couple of them and just lift them out. So right here I have a couple of these plants. I'm gonna go ahead and just grab one of them. It's okay if you got the dirt and all that all clumped in there. Just push down in there, make a little bit of a hole, and then grab your plant, just put it in there. And it's okay if you bury, so for instance, right here, it's okay if you buried it all the way up to there, not a problem. So that's what I do. Get those in there. Do the same thing here with these. And the reason why I say that's okay is, look how long this one is. Say this is kind of leggy. And that is one way you can get rid of the legginess, is you just plant it deeper. And then you have some pretty good, in this case I hope so, I have some pretty good broccoli. My goal is to put this outside in about 3-ish weeks. Yeah, I know. It's cold outside, right? I got my greenhouse or polytunnel outside. It's not really, I don't really say it's an unheated greenhouse. So it's a polytunnel. So right now it's the dirt in there and the ground is still pretty hard. And obviously with this cold weather we're having here in southern Wisconsin isn't really making it any easier for me. So hopefully with these sunny days we're having a couple, we'll start warming up that ground. And then as soon as that ground warms up, and when that ground is roughly 50 degrees, I should be able to put these in the ground. And if I'm thinking about right, I'll probably be putting them in maybe mid-March. And yeah, obviously I'm not gonna be naive. We're still gonna have some pretty bad cold nights. But I think most of them should be gone, and I'm gonna make these other mini hoop houses to go on top of these inside there. Because what I read and from my research is every layer of protection you give roughly a half a zone. So I'm zone 5B here. So then hopefully every layer I put on to give it a little bit more protection, and yeah, it should be good. Let me check one thing here. So I have these 3. I'm going to continue to do more. Same process that I do. I'll grab a couple more of these. One thing that I actually didn't show you, so I have some holes in the bottom of these. And these ones I don't. I want holes on here because the way I water my plants is I water them from the bottom up. If I water them a lot on the top, the dirt kind of goes down. It kind of settles everything, and I tend to have a lot better luck when I'm watering the bottom up. So if I put the holes in there, the water is going to get in. It's also going to help with drainage. One issue that you have a lot when you're growing stuff inside is you don't have a lot of those elements or the airflow that's out there, and they tend to rot or kind of, yeah, rot or decay or get moldy a lot faster. So I try to do as much drainage as possible. So I'm gonna get these guys filled up really quick. So yeah, I just poke some holes in the bottom. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Scissors, piece of wood. Just get a little bit of holes in them, and that's all you really need. So it helps with the drainage and helps with the with the watering of them. So I got 3 more. So I'm just gonna try to get a couple 3 more. I got like these 2 big ones right. I like these 2 big ones right here. So I'm gonna try to grab these guys right here. Yeah, I got those. Gonna gently break them apart, and it's okay. Like I said, if you keep that clump, it's fine, because you're gonna keep a lot of those other roots or any other structure that it's already started to form with them. Just get them in this little pot here as best as you can. And what I do is, like I said, when I have it in there, I try to just go down around it and just firmly push it down without putting too much pressure on that stalk. The stalk is very, very fragile, so I mean, you're gonna break some of them, it's okay. That's why I tend to plant a lot more than what I really need. I typically have, might sound high, but about a 20% failure rate. So, and that's just because, growing them inside, like I said, it could be really, the elements sometimes aren't really the greatest for them. Using artificial light. I put a fan on as much as I can. I just think there's something missing when it's growing inside versus outside. So, so yeah, let me try to get, I like this one right here. There we go, got that one right there. And I wouldn't be shocked if at least 1 or 2 of these plants don't make it by the time I put them outside. Like I said, I always plant a lot more. If I have extras, I give them away to my neighbors or anybody else that wants them that are around. I'll give them away. I don't care. So I got 6 of them done. I got a couple more in here. I might just do a couple more here. Probably just do 2 more, and the rest. Well, I have 4 in here. A couple of them don't really look the greatest, so I'm just gonna do 2 more, and I think I'll be good. Sorry, my nose is running. I'm just getting over a sinus infection. A lot better today, so. Hello, Mom. My mom's on here, so just say hi to her. Alrighty, so I'm gonna grab a couple more. So one thing too, I probably should have started out with this. It is really best to transplant these once you have at least 3 leaves. Now some of them, or almost all of them, only have 2 leaves, but I made the decision to transplant them because this is getting kind of really soggy. I mean, if you would put your hand in here, it's really damp. And I'm afraid if they stay in here much longer, they're gonna start rotting. So, so here's a really good example. So yesterday, I transplanted a lot of my kohlrabi. So you see how this one has 3 leaves on them? That's when you really want to transplant them into another pot from seedlings. So, yeah, sorry, my wife just smashed it. The wind is picking up out here really bad. Just kind of got me worried too because, I just put up that hoop house, and I don't know, I don't know how the wind's gonna really affect it. It does need to be secured a little bit more, but I think we'll be fine. So yeah, when you transplant your plants, it's best to do it when you have 3 leaves. See them right here, 3 leaves, and this is kohlrabi. Don't know what kohlrabi is. Oh man, it's one of my favorite. It's pretty good. So, like I said, on these, this one just barely started having 3 leaves. This one didn't. but they were, from my experience, they were getting pretty good, pretty established. More were starting to come out. Like the one I'm gonna grab right now, it's kind of hard, but there is a small third one growing. Let me pull it out and show you. There is a third one starting to grow on it. You see right there in the middle? No you don't, sorry. But yeah, there's one right there in the middle coming. So, lights just turned off. That's one good thing too. If you're gonna have your lights, or if you're gonna grow your stuff inside, get a timer for them. Set it and forget it. I don't remember who used to say that, but set it, forget it, don't have to worry about it. With that said, I'm working on a, I was gonna try to start working on it today, but I picked up this pump right here to automate watering this. And the reason why I need to do that is about 36 days. We have a family trip down to Disney World, and we'll be gone for a week. Who's gonna water my plants? My mother-in-law, who normally waters them, is coming with us. So yeah, I have to figure out a way to automate it. So I think I'll get that. I think I'll get that figured out here. Let me get this one last plant in here. Get my broccoli, and I'll probably end up doing this broccoli 2 more times this year. So I'm hoping to get this broccoli out in the ground, like I said, in about 3-ish weeks. It'll probably take a couple months to grow, and once I'm ready to pull that out, I'll be planting my first or my second batch. Probably what everybody would normally do, their first one, and then in about August, when I harvest that, I'm gonna plant another round of broccoli. So broccoli in general, you can get 2 harvests a year if you stay ahead of it, if you plant it. Start it from seed like I'm doing. I mean, a lot of people are very timid or maybe scared at starting stuff from seed, and it can be hard. There is kind of an investment too. You know, you really need to have growing lights. You need to have the time, and just be ready to fail at it. But the more you do it, the more easier it's gonna be, and you'll end up being successful at it. And you know, like I said, that's why I always grow more than what I need, because I know they're gonna fail or they're not gonna make it. So I just grow more, so I have more. So, you know, I have 2, 4, 6, so 6, 8. So I have 8 of my broccoli plants right here. And I would bet probably 2 of them aren't gonna make it. And if I have 6 broccoli plants out in the hoop house in a couple months to harvest, that's a win for me right there. Even if I had 1, I'd be happy with that. So what I'm gonna do with this now is I gotta make room over here for these guys. And my light's turned off, so it's gonna be a little bit difficult. I'm actually gonna go turn it back on with the switch. I'll be right back. Hold on. Alrighty, I think that did it. And that's one thing I highly recommend. If you're gonna get a timer, make sure that it has a manual on. Okay. So, just gotta make some room here. That's always the hardest thing I have at this time of the year, or as I'm growing this stuff. So if I bring this up a little bit, I mean, I'm out of room there. Might have a little bit of room in there. I mean, I got a bunch of flowers growing in there. Let me bring this a little bit. So let's go for a ride. Woo! Vroom, vroom, vroom. All right. So So yeah, I got a bunch of flowers growing in here. These are a bunch of my morning glories here. And my onions, I don't really have that much more room to fit any more in here. I could probably fit them down here below. Let me slide this guy down. So I think what I'm gonna do, I think right here, I'm gonna put another one of these trays and I'm just gonna slide it over so I can get those in there. I mean, that's one thing you gotta have too. You gotta have a surplus of trays and stuff. So just got them all sitting down there. But as you continue to do this, and you do more of your indoor gardening and that, you'll just start continuing to build up a supply. So I'm gonna pull these chives out, and I have some rosemary. So one thing, actually, here's a really good note. If you want to grow rosemary and thyme this year, I'd highly recommend starting it right now. It does take a lot of time. Yeah, anyway, it does take a lot of time to grow this stuff. This is rosemary here. I mean, you can see here, look at my success rate. It's pretty bad. It's not anything I did wrong. It's just, it just didn't germinate. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 of these, I have 5 of these rosemary out of 12. And I had 2 seeds in each, so 5 out of, well, 24 didn't make it. Maybe some will pop up, but I don't know. And then on the thyme, you can see here, I only have a little bit. One right there, couple. And I think what the problem is that this is extremely moist. I know that's a word some people don't like, so I'll try to find another word for it. But anyway, it's pretty wet. So I think that's why they're not growing that well. And I don't know. I got some plants outside that come back every year. So one thing about thyme, if you guys didn't know, thyme is a perennial. So, sorry, my contact's jacking up. Thyme is a perennial, so that means it's going to come back every year. So plant it and forget it. So I got a couple thyme plants already outside. I think I have 3 of them. So if the thyme doesn't come up, I'm okay. But I do want some rosemary because I don't really have that much rosemary plants outside. So I'm going to go and take this wood down here. So I use this wood. So one thing to note too, when you're starting your seeds out from the start, you want them to be close as you can to the growing light. I recommend probably about 6 inches away. So I use this wood to stack up my tray so they get closer to this growing light. And as they get, as the seeds get taller and taller, you slowly bring it down to a point that up to, 24 inches above. I thank everybody for watching this too so far. Thank you. So I'm gonna just move these garlic over a little bit, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and grab this tray right here and I'm gonna pop it right in there. And then this broccoli. So what I'm gonna do really quick, is I have a hard time remembering what I'm growing, just because I got so much. So I'm gonna make a label. I've said in past videos I use a label maker because, as you can see, as you can see on this wood right here, I mean, the water started coming up and the markings started going away. So it's really hard to see what you have. So I just use a label maker. Not the cheapest thing to do, but it works. So BRO for broccoli, I need 8 of them. So I just do a couple of those on here. Oops, go back here. I know this is boring. I'm not doing nothing. Just got to get these labels done. Pop them on. I think I got 8 of them here. And then we'll just throw them in here. So any other herbs perennials? Yes, I can't remember. I'll find that for you. I know, yeah, thyme, sage. Right now I have thyme, sage, and I can't remember another one here. I did post something on it last year. I could find it and I'll put it in this. So I just throw that little broccoli label on it, or bro, that's what I call it. Go ahead and just throw this on here. Another bro. They're my bros. Alrighty. Couple more here. I have to print a couple more labels. Get those in here. A couple more. So it looks like I need to do 3 more broccoli labels. And then we can move on to something else because I know this is pretty boring. But yeah, other perennial herbs, probably. And making my head hurt right now. Trying to figure out what they are. One of the best ways to tell too is if you look at the back of the seed plants. This actually made me start thinking about it when I first saw it. It said 500 days before you can harvest it. I'm like, say what? There's not that many days in a growing season. And then I realized, yeah, hey, genius, that means it's a perennial. It's going to keep coming back. So, yeah. Alrighty, so I think I got all my broccoli in here. And I'm going to move this. We're going to just call this mystery plant. This is why you label your stuff. I don't know what it is. I know it's a cabbage because cabbages always have this funky leaf on it right there. It's either cabbage or more broccoli. I don't think it's kohlrabi. Those are the 3 cabbages that I really plant. I do grow Brussels sprouts too. That is a cabbage, I guess. Got a question coming in here. Greg, you're looking for something easy to grow to get your daughter involved with gardening. I mean, if you want something that grows really fast, and you can harvest it and eat it really fast. Radishes grow. You can from the time you put the radish in the ground to the time you eat it, it's about 30 days. It's a very fast plant. Radishes almost all year. Well, almost all growing season. They do not like extreme heat, so I would say July and August not to plant them. Or if you have stuff already established and it's growing tall, you can grow it underneath it. So one thing I do is underneath my kohlrabis, I grow my spinach. So the kohlrabi plant comes up and it's got these big leaves that come off it. And the thing that you eat is in the middle, right off the ground, but it's got a lot of shade underneath it for your spinach. So you could do radishes, lettuce. A lot of your different lettuces are pretty cool. You can do them inside too. Here's some of my lettuce growing right now. This is one thing you can grow all year long inside. All year. We do that too. So yeah, radishes, lettuce. If you I mean, other stuff does take quite a while. If you want to try some other things, beets don't take that long. You can do beets potentially up to 3 times a year. Beets are a semi-cold hardy, so you can plant them and they can stand a minor frost. So beets might be something. What you do with the beet leaves too, what I actually do, you can make beet leaf pesto. It's very, very good on top of chicken. I have a video on how I actually make the beet leaf pestos too. If you just search beet leaf pesto, if you actually go to my YouTube channel and type that beet leaf pesto in, it'll show you how I make it. But yeah, beets, you can use the leaves. I recommend not using the stalks. I don't like them. We tried making a stalk beet leaf pesto and it was disgusting. And then you can use the beet. The beets, actually beets themselves are very good for your brain, are very good for your brain and all that. So beets are really good. You can grow any of your leafy stuff, you know. Like I said, spinach grows pretty good. So yeah, I would recommend that stuff. You can do other stuff too that's gonna take a little bit longer. Like I said, broccoli. I actually love the way broccoli grows. You know, it starts out really small like this, and it gets tall and tall and tall, and then you got these shoots that come off, and in the middle is your broccoli head. And then what we do is really cool is we'll actually cut that broccoli head off, and we'll leave it, and then little shoots will start coming off. And my daughters love broccoli. They'll come by, walk by the garden, just reach their hands in there and just snag it off and eat it. So yeah, broccoli's pretty cool. So yeah, those are some pretty cool things you can do. So trying to get these I'm gonna get these little onions I have right in here. And then we'll see how it's looking over here. So we got our flowers up here on the top. And flowers do take quite a while to grow. So if you do want to have flowers, go to the store and get them. You see a bunch of different varieties I have on here. Go to the store and get them. And pick up one of these flat trays. That might be something pretty cool too if you want. You can kind of grow with your kids, Greg, some flowers. I mean, my daughters love flowers too, and start them inside like this. And worst case, they bloom, and you got flowers right now before you get them outside. But flowers are really good in your garden. They'll be a really good pollinator to get those bees in to help pollinate your plants for you. So I start my flowers right now. And like I said, we got our onions over here. We already talked to those. Those guys are really bugging me. We'll see. I'm not going to waste that much more time on them. If they continue to start dying off, I'm just going to say forget it and just buy them like I always do. We drop down a little bit here. Well, we have garlic growing in here. Just going in here. My goal for the garlic in here is to get those roots established. And then I'll put them outside right before that last frost. Then we got what we just did. And all the way in the bottom here, I just planted those yesterday. That's actually one of my favorite things to plant. It's probably also one of the most time-consuming and most frustrating, besides next to onions. But I always have success rate with those, so I'm not really too concerned about those. And that's my celery and celery root. I actually just posted a video today over on YouTube on my celery and celery root. Go check that video out. If you really want to grow it, you want to start your celery and celery root seeds right now, like today, because those things take a long time. Take about 30 days to germinate, and then they take a very long time to grow. So I'm gonna pick up these herbs down here. I almost just stepped on them. really running out of room right now. I might have to move some more stuff upstairs. You see over here what I got. Let me try to get in here. Yeah, strawberries. Strawberries are really, really cool to grow. Thing about strawberries, though, if you want to grow, if you want to have strawberries and have a pretty good amount, you're going to want to have a couple different strawberry beds. They grow like gangbusters. They grow super fast and they spread out, but they only last 3 to 5 years. And you can tell when they're about ready to start dying off because the extra strawberry will start getting smaller and smaller. But then what you want with the goal of having multiple plots is you'll move strawberries from one plot as they shoot off to another plot, just helping them germinate. So you can kind of see in here, you know, I have some of these. Again, I didn't label it. I don't know what it is. It's a cabbage. I know that for sure. I might end up putting that up. But here's there's actually some strawberries that I'm growing in my hydroponic system. And proof that it works. So look at strawberry, right? The strawberry plant right here. Look at nice roots in there. I grabbed this one from outside. Brought it inside. All of this is all new growth. I mean, this kicked off. This was growing like crazy. But proof that hydroponic works. Yeah, that's right. That's a red strawberry. We're going to be eating that soon. Now, what I did have to do with the strawberries is I had to pollinate them myself. It's super easy. Just grab a Q-tip, put it in one of them, and go like, bring it to the other one and go like that. That's it. Done. There you go. You're a bee. Solved our bee problem. No, I didn't. We need bees. I'd actually recommend, if you have a garden, do those flowers, and then go to the store and pick up these bee homes. You put them on the side of your house, and at the end of the year, the bees will lay their eggs in there. You take it off your house and you put it in your garage, and you put it back out right before the last frost, and then the bees will hatch and go out there. And it's not the nasty bees that we don't like. It's the good bees that we need for our garden. So, I'm going to make some room in here. I'm going to probably put some of these upstairs. Got some lettuce here growing in the hydroponic system. Yeah, I'm going to eat it. No, I'll probably bring it upstairs and slice it, that strawberry. I'm trying to grow some. I got a tomato plant growing in here in the hydroponic system. You might ask, well, how is the hydroponic system? It's just growing in water. I have a video on the hydroponic system as well. Right, I got videos of a lot of stuff over on my YouTube channel there. You just put a little bit of fertilizer in it. There's this powder fertilizer right here. You mix it up, you put it in there, and they go poof, and they explode and they grow good. So I was talking about a jumper. This was a remnants of a jumper. This plant is pretty old, but this is what a jumper was. So these plants grow and they make off these little jumpers, and then they bury themselves in the ground. They boom, and then they just explode. So right now, just trying to make some room. I used to have the bottom tier here full. Whoops, you can't see. It's right below. I used to have the bottom tier, but I ran out of growing lights because I moved them over into the greenhouse here. I don't want to buy any more. These growing lights are roughly 26, 25 bucks a piece. If you want a growing light, I'll put a link in this. I have an Amazon shop page. So everything that I use, I call it Matt approved. I don't know why. It's just the things that I use, I know they work, and I put them on there. I don't make anything really, pennies. So I don't really care if you buy it on there or not. The only reason why I put it on there is so people can easily find the products that they need. And know that they work because I use them. I'm not going to put something that doesn't work on there. So that's a little bit of what I got going on here. Switch the camera over here if it works with me. So see here, I got a bunch of this off. Oh, look at me. I actually labeled something, but look at, you can't read it. And that's why I started using the label maker. That says Kohlrabi. That's a Kohlrabi plant. I'm going to get a real label and put it on there so I know what it is. Sorry, getting you guys dizzy here. Alrighty, gonna get that Kohlrabi label on here. So yeah, like I said, I'd recommend using some type of permanent label. I mean, permanent marker on a piece of wood, and that water coming up is gonna destroy it. So, Kohl, that's all I do. Abbreviate it really quick. So that's Kohlrabi. So I bet the rest of those are Kohlrabi. I will end up planting a bunch of Kohlrabi in the garden, like a lot. And if somebody's looking for something new to try in the garden, do Kohlrabi. You'll thank me later. It's really awesome. It's one of my favorite things to eat. It's pretty interesting too how it grows. That's Kohlrabi. Yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna look at something really quick because the question of what are other perennial herbs is driving me crazy, and I did something on this on this last year. I think I actually only posted it on my Instagram. Let me hop over there really quick and see if I can find it. Matter of fact, I think I saw it yesterday. Let's see here. Where is it? I mean, I could probably find it online if I go, but I knew. No, apparently I didn't post it out there. Or, you know what, I think I did and I didn't like how it looked. But anyway, yeah, thyme, sage, and rosemary are things that I grow outside. Yeah, that's what I got. I don't think I'm gonna have time to kind of work on my water system. That watering system that I'm trying to get. Running out of room. Might have to buy another growing light. Don't tell my wife, she's probably watching this, but anyway. I might have to buy another growing light to put it down there. I don't think I have any more. I know I got a bunch of seeds though. These need to get. I'm anxious to get those in the ground. Gotta wait. So, we do got some more seeds that we could start here coming up in March next month. I have a video that's gonna be posted. It's gonna be a March checklist. I'll post that the 1st of March. And then March checklist will be covering zones
4 to 7. Typically, I just look at like the Midwest area. That's where I know them have the most knowledge about that. So in that video, it'll give you kind of your checklist of things you can start. You probably guessed it. Some of them are going to be your tomatoes and your peppers. You really gotta wait. If you've already started those, that's okay. But I learned my lesson a couple years ago. I started my tomato plants a little early, and I kid you not, I think they grew over 4 feet tall in the basement here. So just patience. So that's what I got. I appreciate everybody's questions, and from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everybody following me. My mission again on this whole platform, everything that I'm doing is to help people grow their own food, spread the knowledge that I have, the knowledge that people have taught me, and just, yeah, so that's what I have. One last thing, I'm going to do one more plug on this. If you haven't already, I'd ask that you please consider going over to my YouTube channel. Just search Matt the Garden Guy and hitting that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate that. Hey guys, until next time, keep growing, and that's right, I'll talk to you later.